Hi, I'm Jonny Gill. I'm a penetration tester at Bramfitt Technology Labs. I'd always wanted to do some form of computing, so I did a national diploma in software development at college, and then did a foundation degree in IT, and then ended up working in law firms for a little while because I just needed a job, and then got an IT job in the law firm. Did a master's while I was doing that, and one of the units was a cybersecurity module, and you had to kind of write the theory of how you would conduct a penetration test. And I kind of went, oh, this is really cool. I'd like to look more into this. Finished my master's, got my work then very kindly paid for me to do the OSCP. And then I ended up starting working for Bramfitt at the beginning of 2022. Yeah, so when I worked at the law firm that I worked at, from the very beginning, I was kind of quite security focused, and I did security training for the people there, and sort of ran phishing exercises and that kind of thing, and tried to just make sure that people were aware of what threats were around them. I've always been quite sort of education focused, so I took the role in a bit of a different direction as the IT manager than a lot of people might have done, I suppose. And then as soon as I did the OSCP, I kind of thought, this is what I want to do. But it was difficult to find the time to transition from a managerial role to like an entry level role again somewhere. But BTL have been very supportive in sort of helping me out with training and courses and that kind of stuff. So that's been very helpful in making it an easier transition. We do loads of different types of pen testing. So I've been involved in infrastructure tests, web tests, API tests, mobile app tests, purple team, a little bit of red team. So all sorts. And then obviously the report writing and sort of the kickoff meetings with clients as well, and scoping the engagements, figuring out how much time we might need to give them what it is that they need, but also considering their budget. Sometimes it doesn't. You have to kind of find a middle ground where you think, we can probably get this done in this time, but it'll be a bit of a push. But that's what they've said, that they are willing to sort of pay out for it. It's quite nice to still have some people engagement while being in a sort of heavily technical role. For me, at least, I'm quite social, so I don't mind chatting to the clients for a while and sort of keeping those relationships going. I definitely think the technical side is the most enjoyable. So when I started at BTL, I definitely thought that infrastructure was sort of my strength out of the different domains. But I've moved a lot more into being much more capable in the web and API and mobile stuff. The mobile stuff's quite fun and kind of a little niche that not necessarily everybody does. Web, and a lot of people can sort of do web and infrastructure, but I think the mobile app testing is probably a little bit more niche. And I've got some great colleagues here, lots of knowledge to be passed around, which is very helpful as somebody who's, I'm not that new to the industry now, I suppose, nearly 2 years in, but relatively new. I'm still the newest member of the pen testing team here. So it's great for me to have that wealth of knowledge to draw on if I get stuck on anything. So I took the CPSA last May, so May 2022. The company wants to go for the Czech team, so we've got a couple of people who have applied for the Czech team lead, and I thought that might be outside my grasp still slightly. So I went for the CREST registered tester last November, so November 22, and failed that time. I don't think it was by much, but I went easy on myself. I hadn't been doing the job very long. Nobody else at work had gone for that particular exam, so there wasn't kind of, even just, for example, knowing that it's helpful to take a second monitor and that you're allowed to take a second monitor in with you. So everybody else in the exam that I took was using a second monitor, and I was just on my laptop screen. I took it again this November 2023, and just knowing a few little bits about sort of the format of the exam and what little things like that second monitor can be helpful when you're doing it, and also the extra year's worth of knowledge from just doing the job, just helped me get through and pass that. Obviously, you don't find out what your full marks are, so I have no idea whether I scraped a pass or got full marks, but very happy to have it passed. It's one of those kind of like touchstone kind of points in your career, I guess, when you kind of get to that point where you've got the CRT and can get the Czech team member, and Yeah, the invigilators were very nice. I know the format's changing now to be in the Pearson View centres, isn't it, rather than the hotel-based ones. So yeah, next time I go to do it, it'll be a different experience. Although I may be at the point where I want to do the CCT by then, I suppose, because I'll be nearly 5 years in. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It might be the last time I do the exam. It might not be. I was fortunate that my previous employer sort of funded the OSCP for me. Although so that was 2019, but even now there is so much more in the way of free or cheap resources. I really like the altered security courses that are done by Nikhil Mittal, and they're for the amount of information that they give you, and you get a certification at the end of it, they're very sort of reasonably priced. And I think that somebody who is trying to get into the industry, it can just be good to have that one single line of certification on your CV. And obviously stuff like Hack the Box, and they have the CREST sort of CPSA and CRT and CCT routes, don't they? So that's obviously a good shout, and you can get the free or the paid. And again, the paid on that is not super expensive. But yeah, just watch YouTube videos, sort of just listen to podcasts, Darknet Diaries, watch John Hammond and David Bombal on YouTube, and just try and soak in the information, and you'll be amazed at how much you pick up just in terms of, oh, maybe I should try this when you're doing something. And yeah, I suppose also having the fundamental knowledge, which was, I'd done a standard IT job and an IT managerial job. So sort of the networking knowledge and stuff about protocols and things like that, that if people have no tech experience, you would have to pick all that up as well. But it's important to kind of have that baseline knowledge to then build on top of, how would somebody break this, and how do I go about sort of taking advantage of that system.